long you gonna let this beat play, Dennis?
Forever. Until you start freestyling, until we'll start freestyling.
Welcome to Make It Make Sense. We are back.
What's up?
Welcome to another episode where we make it make sense, talk about relationships and dating and male and female dynamics and the shit show. Turn that shit down, bro. The shit show, which is dating in 2023 and how we can fix it by learning each other. Because at this point, I feel like most men aren't capable of what women want, and most women are delusional about what they deserve, and we need to close that gap, bridge that gap. And if you don't like what I'm saying, that's fine. But if you're going to argue with me, you need to make it make sense. That being said, we have, well, we'll get to him last. We're going to go around the table and introduce everybody. Let's skip that handsome fella in the middle. So we're going to go with you, name, age, what you do for a living, and relationship status.
Me first?
Yeah.
My name is Chanel. I'm 32.
Into the mic. Get closer to me.
I'm 32 years old, and I'm a full-time entrepreneur. Serial entrepreneur.
Dating, relationship status?
And I'm single and dating.
Bad. And you, lovely lady?
I'm 32 years old. My name is Jessica. I am a stay-at-home mompreneur, and
I hope so.
I'm in a relationship with the host.
Yeah, we do it. Your turn.
My name is Shamari, and I am 37 years old.
Damn.
I'll be 38 next week. October 2nd
Happy
is my
birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Yes, I am a true and true Libra. So,
You don't look anywhere near 37, by the way. You look younger than me.
Sure. Pat yourself on the back.
thank you. I appreciate
If you guys stick through, then she's gonna tell us the fountain of youth at the end of the show.
it. And,
I hope so.
I work in banking and IT, and I'm an implementations manager.
Did you say your relationship status?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Situationship is complicated.
Can we put the Jeopardy
He just
music
turned the channel. He just hit off the line.
I am single and dating.
I hope so.
My name's Tamika.
To the mic.
Oh, my name's Tamika. I'm 34. I'm a relationship manager for a financial investment firm, and I has a man.
Nice. And you, good sir?
Hi, what's up, guys? James, 32, single, and I study economics, and I'm LMT, and do podcasts.
And I am waiting for Dennison to change the camera view. Just put it on all of us, bro. I'm Troy. I'm the host. I am 35. I'm a barber and a podcaster, and my relationship status is ball and chain over there, along with some extracurricular activities because she likes girls. So,
Women.
whatever. Everyone knows what the fuck I meant.
Glad you clarified that. Girls like high school.
2023.
Keep her away from high schools.
What?
And yeah,
Our special guest.
our special guest.
Who that?
Yeah, where's the fucking drum roll? We'll just do a poem.
No, that's
Hit us with it.
I'm
Oh wait,
sorry.
hold on.
Yeah.
Here we go.
What you got? Oh, we Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm Sir Will. I'm a successful rapper. I'm gonna just say that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I'm here to support my boy Troy, and he been trying to get me up here for the last about a month.
Yeah, you're so fucking busy traveling and touring,
Doing
and
stuff.
rocking stages.
Yeah, being a father, everything like that.
Oh, yeah,
and
that part.
I support. I've been watching the show, so I'm excited to be here.
This day, to this day.
All right, so let's get started. You guys ready to have some fucking fun?
Yes, let's do it.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna go with the first one, which is it okay to hook up on the first date? And if so, what would make you make a man wait? And we're gonna go this way. To the mic.
Oh, me. 'Cause
Yes.
I can't answer that one.
Guys go last.
I think it's okay. I think it's perfectly okay. If I was to make a man wait, it'd be because I was unsure about him.
Unsure about what?
Like if I'm feeling him in that way.
Okay.
I'd need a few more dates to feel him out. But I mean, you talk to people for a little while before you go on a date. I imagine I have. And so I kind of know, on the first date, whether I'm into you or not. And then we can go from there. If the date goes well, then what happens, happens.
Okay. And you?
I think it's okay. I don't see why two adults can't consent to that if that's what they want to do. And what would make me make a man wait is depending on where I was at in my life, if I wanted to have a relationship with that person or not.
Meaning?
If I wanted to get to know them more and not on a sexual level.
So you would make him wait if you saw a future with him?
Yes, I would.
Okay. What about you? You know what? Don't answer. No, I'm just kidding.
I would say like the second date, just cause, I mean, if the chemistry was there, then great. Like just like you were saying, like if you had already been talking to this person and y'all are feeling it. However, I feel like I'm a Gemini and I just like know that if it happens like the first time, especially with women, I usually am like, I don't want to see you ever again, because I'm like, who else you be doing that with? Like, I don't know. But if there's a second time, it's like that, hey, I left my hair tie at your place, so that means I have to come get it and we have to hang out again. Then there's like interest on
Hair
both.
tie.
Right? What if they just cash app like a couple dollars?
I threw it away.
I mean, I would say like the
I left
second
a
time.
shoe over there.
The first time is fine. I just feel like it's like a rare occurrence that it goes past that.
What about you? Oh wait, what would you make somebody wait? What would make you make someone wait? Male or female?
Now, I would just say like the second time, just because I want to see them twice to know if the effort is there. I feel like I say this every time, and he always makes fun of me, but I'm like demisexual, so I have to have like a connection, like a mental stimulation. Because I mean, if I'm just gonna hook up with you, then I'm just gonna hook up with you, and that's that. And I'm a Gemini. I could ghost you and pretend you never existed, but it's toxic. So, yeah, I would say hold out. Then there's like sexual, what is that, like the build up, like there's tension and it's like I can't wait to see you again type thing. But
I find it interesting that you guys are like, oh, for the person I really like, you're gonna wait. It's like, but the people you don't really like gets rewarded.
yeah.
We'll get there. But don't influence answers.
Right. So honestly, I think it depends on the stage of my life. So if I'm not looking to settle down, but I'm casually dating, seeing where it's going to go, for me, I feel as though I would probably wait the second or the third time, just to fill out that person, to see if they are what they say they are, just if we have interactions prior before. Now, am I opposed? Do I understand there's that sexual tension? Absolutely. Things happen, but I'm not like opposed to it. In the stage I'm currently at now, though, with me intentionally dating because I want a relationship, I'm not going to allow myself just to sleep with whoever. Because at this point, though, I want a sexual connection with somebody that has a meaningful purpose to it. It's a different type of sex. So what would make me make a man wait would be that, as far as what stage I'm at. So, but I wouldn't be like, it's gonna be. No, I'm not done. No, but I wouldn't be like, oh, you have to wait 30 days. No, I'm gonna fill you out.
You better not say no shit like that.
He's on the 3-month probation period.
Right.
Fuck outta here.
No, it would allow me just to fill it out, see if it's somebody I want to pursue any
further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I didn't catch it, but is hooking up on the first date okay? Yeah.
Yes, they all
Yes.
say that.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead with what you were saying.
I don't know. I just find it interesting that they punish the person that they want. It makes sense. I'm not kind of bashing because I do believe one night stands are fun. Definitely, if you're not gonna see the person again, if you're kind of going with the flow and the flow feels magical, then the night is gonna end magical with that. But I find it interesting that the person that you guys really care for, you will have them wait. But I guess that's the strategy that women have to go through of how does a guy look at them. So it makes sense that you would have to do that. Now, me personally on the one night stand, yeah, fuck yeah, that's fine. And that's simple as that. That's all.
What you got to say, player?
At the end of the day, I don't judge it. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge if we smash on the first night. If it's a week later, it doesn't do anything for me because I have my confidence in myself to be like, you know what, I'm the reason why we smashed in this first night. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like I'm not judging a woman for falling for your boy on the first night. So that's kind of how I feel about it. And I never think like, oh, she's doing this with all these other dudes because I feel like I'm me.
Yeah.
You know, not trying to be cocky, but that's just how I go into it.
Oh, for sure. Would you ever make a woman wait?
Huh?
Would you ever make a woman
Hell
wait?
no.
That was my question.
You would make a woman wait? Okay.
I believe what they said about building that sexual tension. Like if you still gotta feed into the music of the tension. Yeah, I'm not gonna just be like, nah. I'm gonna feed into that tension and build up and build up. And I think she's going to see that as, damn, he has a lot of control. Because I notice if you bring up sex too fast for women, that's kind of a turn off. And if you seem like you don't have control over your sexual urges, then that's a turn off. But if you can turn her on and get her like you're almost about to bring her to her bed and you say, nah, end of night maybe, or just like something like that, she's going to be thinking about you the whole night. And then even if your sex game is bad, it's still going to be magical for her. So I think it's for your benefit to be able to hold on sexual tension.
Right.
Yeah.
I like I said, I wouldn't make a woman wait, but having waited before, it is sometimes it's a little better. You know what I mean? Because you're just wondering that whole week, like, what is this going to be like? You know what I mean? Like, just that thinking about it, you know what I mean? That do make a difference, too. It's like, sometimes it might not be as good, but you've been waiting for a week. And so now it's a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes it is like a fluke. Like, it's like you think there's going to be a lot of chemistry, and then you hook up, and you're like, I would never want to see that person again. But if there's that build-up, then you guys start talking more, or it's like, when are we hanging out again? And then even if it is like a little trash, at least there was connection. I don't know.
It's like spaghetti on the second day. It tastes better. You know what I mean? That
Pizza,
waiting for
spaghetti,
it.
right? Leftovers.
Especially with an air fryer with that pizza now.
Oh, bro. Air fryers are game changers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but air fryer's not fucking with that pizza fresh out the box from delivery at all. Okay, so is hooking up on the first night acceptable? Absolutely. First date, whatever it is. I'm with you on that. Women, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever to make the man that you actually see a future with wait when you've let a lesser man hit because you were just turned on. So it just doesn't make any sense at all. If you see a future with this man, it doesn't matter if you do it on the first night or a week later, because after you sleep with any man, your leverage is gone. So once you sleep with him, it's completely up to you to keep him engaged. And or in your situation with a woman, whether it's first night or not, it's still up to them to keep you engaged. So whether it wasn't what you thought it was going to be, or possibly disappointing or whatever, if they still put in effort, then you're going to, not always, but you're more inclined to receive it. And you're going to feel special that they were like, oh, I still want to see you after said encounter. Okay? But most of the time, people feel embarrassed and ashamed or whatever for giving it up so soon, and they end up ghosting you for whatever reason, or maybe it just was bad and neither party wants to see each other again. But you don't make the person that you actually want to date wait, because, especially when it comes to men, because we know that you've let someone lesser than me hit. So why does he get what I want too, but I have to work harder for it when you want me? That don't make no fucking sense. You see what I'm saying? You don't want a future with him. He's just hot. I'm hot and you want a future, but I gotta wait. They don't make any fucking sense. And And no, I wouldn't make a woman wait. It's not better or worse. I've never had that, like, oh, we waited a week. It was so much better than if you would have given it. The nut is the nut, regardless if it's in 2 hours or 2 weeks. I'm still getting the same fucking finale, okay? And again, it's up to her on keeping me engaged once that is given up. So it doesn't matter when it's done personally, but that's just how I look at it.
Daddy chills.
Somebody else want to make it make sense, chime in.
I agree with everything you said, bro.
So, do most men think the way that he thinks, what he said, that he's not going to judge the woman that for sleeping with her on the first night?
I would
because
say,
all I'm hearing in the back of my head is, so from my point of view, not sleeping with somebody that I want to have a future with, is all I'm thinking about is how that man is going to judge me. That all I hear is you can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
There are some insecure men out there, though. Like, there are some that are there that are like, oh man, she slept with me. Who else? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Who else? Like,
So
but
as
that's
a
the dude
woman-
you don't want to be with anyway.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one. As a woman, that's what I'm thinking. And when I see a future with this man, or I want more with him, that's where I stand on that.
I feel like it's not wrong to think about that. And the reason why is definitely in this day and age with this type of podcast and Red Pill podcast, men are getting the shitty end of the stick of relationships, right? And being married, they're getting the shitty end of the relationships. So men assess women's behavior, and it doesn't just because you sleep with a guy for your first night doesn't make you a hoe, but he's gonna be judging your behavior and your character. And I do believe if it is somebody that you do care about, if you do sleep with him on the first night, it may have an impact on how he sees you.
See, but that's the thing.
If you see a future with him, do you want to take the risk of him possibly or possibly not having that impact? That's up to the women. But to say that there's not going to be a judgment from the guy's perspective, I don't think that's a correct statement. I think there's going to be some judgment.
So I'm with Will on this, where, yeah, some men, and those aren't the ones that you want. Because if you are walking around in your frame as a man, and men talk too. So if you know she's a hoe or she's giving you hoe tendencies before you guys even have sex,
What are
then-
hoe tendencies?
just characteristics, whether the way she dresses, her always being out, her drinking a lot,
Her having an OnlyFans?
yeah,
Her
having
being
an
aggressive.
OnlyFans, her having a bunch of hoe friends.
Instagram's
You know
all
what I mean?
ass when you go to it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You already walked into it like, ho. You know what I mean? But if she's modestly dressed and you never see her out and she's not always on live or on her stories every fucking night and weekend, then if she does give it up on the first night, if you are that man walking around in your frame and you know who you are, yeah, you're going to look at it more as, no, I'm not everyone else.
Exactly.
So that's why she gave it up to me. And those are the men that you're attracted to anyway, the men who aren't everyone else. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So he knows he's not everyone else, because as a man, if you're good with women, you can tell the other people who aren't, because we hang out with dudes who just are trash with women. You know what I'm saying? We all have friends like that you never see with girls.
So that would be part of the build-up then, I
Meaning?
think. Getting to know that person, watching them, how they move, how they act, how they dress.
Yeah, but the man's
yes.
already
That is part-
doing that.
Yep.
The man's already doing that. So you don't have to think about his judgment, because again, the ones who are going to judge you are the ones who don't come across that first night sex often. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
But the man who's good with women, that shit happens all the time. So it's not like he's not going to put it past you like you're any different than the rest. But again, we also know what we're going into. So for instance, we may pursue a hoe hard because we know she's a hoe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the path of least resistance. Everything she's shown me is showing that this isn't going to be as difficult as someone who seems modest and docile or not in the limelight and all that other junk. So it's that's why men follow and like all the bitches with no clothes on. Mm-hmm. We love hoes,
Yeah.
but we're never going to take the hoe serious.
Facts.
So my whole thing is, as far as speaking on that, is I want to be one man's everything. I want to be that hoe for him. I want to be that wife for him. So why not get to know that woman and create that relationship with her?
No, you can, but that's up to you. Because again, once the sex is given up, the rest is on you to keep that man. You see what I'm saying? And I think what most women don't understand is that you're never going to be able to please a man sexually by yourself. Like we're not built that way. Especially the man that you want.
Really, nigga?
You see what I'm saying? The man that you want is the top percentile of man. And not just you in particular. This is just a general statement for most women. Most women are attracted to the best men. And it's always been that way. From biblical times till now.
Hierarchy system.
You know what I mean? It's the best men have the women. When I say you don't even have to worry about giving it up on the first night, because if you show consistency, effort, and a desire for him and show him that he's needed, then you're going to be on his mind more than any of these other bitches.
I was just gonna ask you, so say that you do have sex on the first night, how would you expect from a man's point of view a woman to keep that engagement with you though?
Text me the next day. Say you want to come over again.
That's it?
Very fucking simple. Men are not, can I come see you again?
Desire them.
Can I? Yeah. And then when you get here, get close to me, touch me. We want to be touched. We want to be desired. We want to feel like we turn you on. You already turn us on.
And if you're an asset, so like let's say he texts you, he's like, I'm sore from working out, I'm tired. Hey baby, come up by, I'm gonna cook you some food, you just sit down, you watch a TV show.
And
Whatever you can
feet,
feel
whatever,
like you can develop be an asset to him and provide for him, then you're gonna definitely be winning him over.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
Yeah.
Men we're
Simple
very
as shit.
We're very simple. We no one's gonna like this statement. But they say women mature faster than men. And I mean, yes, physically, but I feel like both parties kind of stop maturing mentally around like 14, 15. And what I mean by that is women want that princess treatment from everything. It's just being led, like, you know, all those kind of things. And then men, I'm 35 years old and I still laugh at farts. Like, we don't grow up either. You know what I'm saying? You throw on Little Giants or fucking
Facts.
Hey Arnold, I'm watching it.
I'm watching that shit
You know what
too.
I'm saying? Like, we don't really grow past that. We all have that kid nature. So I mean, I guess it wasn't that bad of a statement. But we're so fucking simple. We are not hard to please at all. Women already have what we're looking for. And we're here to serve. And I think if women understood that more, they'd get more from men. But women want to be so damn independent that you take away the servitude that a man is built for.
A1.
Like,
sure.
We want to provide for you. We want to build for you. We want to protect for you. But the only way we're going to be able to do that is A, you let us, and B, you show us that you need it, and C, you're not a fucking headache.
Hey, can I say something about that independence too? It's like,
Sit up.
I gotta be tough. Yo, who is more stronger, right? If you look at all romance novels and stories, the Hulk is the one who could destroy the world, right? But he's bowing down to this small little woman that can tell, and King Kong, right? And tells him, I want you to go destroy that world, and he's gonna go do that. Who do you think is stronger?
In that moment,
Yes.
the woman.
The woman is.
Point blank. So if you allow, she's giving him a command of service to do, and guys want to do it. So why do women want to be independent to play the men hierarchy game? There's a lot of men don't even want to play the hierarchy
You don't
game.
want to be the Hulk.
And
Like-
you can't be the Hulk.
like the Hulk-
To be honest with you, like men in men's world, we command respect by having the capability of committing violence. So a man's gonna give another man respect because this person has the ability to kill me. Women, there's no way women are gonna have that type of respect. So why play that game in the hierarchy? Even if you're doing it in a corporate ladder, women are the best salesmen. Do you know why? Because in sales, you have to build rapport. You have to make the person feel comfortable for you so that you can lead them down the path that you want to lead them. Women, you already have that. But women have lost their feminine nature and they're playing the masculine game and saying, oh, we can be just like men. No, you can't. And it's not only stressing you guys out, but it's stressing us out.
Right.
We want to give you guys the world, but you guys want the world and the moon too. And you want to be the one that's doing it, but
And
complain
tell
that the
us
men are
what
not
to
doing
do
it.
while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Now, and the worst part is like, I don't want to work. So why the fuck do you?
That's all that.
There's so many reels now that are like, I girl boss too hard, and now I'm a CEO of a company, and I'm fucking tired.
No, that's the honest truth, honestly. And there was a point in my life where I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it by myself. I'm independent. Yada yada yada. I don't need no man. Now at my grown age, I realize that I do need a man, and it's because the role that I want to play in my life is more of a leadership role instead of like a CEO role. So like if we look at it, like I would love for my man to lead my home, but I need you to direct me, but I bet you I'll get everything done for you. You know what I mean? And so that's how I know I'm strong in that area where I can accomplish and achieve any of the goals that we set together. But I think that's the part where a lot of women mistaken. It's not taking any power away from us. It's just understanding where your power is and what your role is in your relationship.
And to kind of give women a little bit of credit, I understand why you want independence. Like, you want to have the ability to make decisions while you're in a relationship and not be tied down. You want to leave the person or you want to do things, but he is the one that's in control of everything. So I would say build up enough cushion in your bank account and the saving account to have that fuck you, I'm leaving you, if that is needed. So you can have some little bit of independence and be in confidence. I am totally with that, but
I'm not.
It's not just that though. Our society is a lot different than what it was back in the day. A mom can be a stay-at-home mom. A dad can go out and work, provide, and afford the bills. It's not like that. So even
you're right. Inflation's a motherfucker.
Yeah. So even today, though, it's not just because I want to gain independency, but if my man has a moment in his life where he's transitioning, he gets hurt, he's not able to work, he gets sick, I need to be able to take over for him momentarily until he gets back to a place where he's doing that. And so that's where I look at it as now too. It's not just for me to be like, I can leave you at any time. No, my intentions are not to leave you. If I'm committing to you, I'm not trying to leave you. But at the same time though, I have to understand that we're a team. We're honestly a team. So just because you lead our team, it doesn't mean that I can't assist. I can't help. I can't help score, you know? And if I am in a position to where my man is good, we're good, all the bills are paid and everything, I'm going to kick my feet up and chill out. Like, hey, you got
I think Troy talks about that, how he says, like, women will do it temporarily if they have to, but when we get in that role of, like, because there's been women on this podcast who are like, I was cooking, cleaning, working,
50-50.
He was using my car, I was paying all the bills, and he was just going out, and I'm like, bitch, what? Where the fuck? And then we're talking about, like, I don't need no man. It's like, you are the man. So what are we talking about here? Like, and so this, like, I don't need a man, I'm a boss ass bitch, it goes so far until it's like that you girl boss too hard, and now you're like, I'm tired, and men will get up and go serve their country,
we don't
whatever.
Get tired.
Yeah, and they just do what they gotta do. But I think it's like
what Kevin Gates
a
said?
matter of like servitude, being like, what am I giving versus getting? So of course, there's times where things need to be stepped up, and we're grateful to have that opportunity, but who signed up for us to be fucking homemakers and making $100K a year and providing for a man and kids and
feminism.
all that?
See, that's the dark secret nobody wants to talk about. Is that's how inflation works sometimes. Supply and demand. Back in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, you could provide for a family, a woman, and 3 children on a fireman's salary.
Your grandma had a moo-moo in 6 months, and he was still coming home every night.
But now that women are going to college and also buying homes and doing everything else, now there's double the buyers, so I'm raising prices. You see what I'm saying? And on top of that, like, even with all the opportunity, I think this is the biggest problem that people don't look into, is the equal opportunity is there. These extreme feminists want equal outcome. You see what I'm saying? Because with all of the freedom of college and getting a job and doing whatever you'd like to do career-wise as a woman, y'all are still doing the same shit you've been doing, which is teaching, psychology, communications, social work. Like, No one's trying to be an engineer. You don't get into. I think it's only like 15% of all engineers in this country are females.
See, I went to engineering school and I dropped out like after I had like walked to graduation. I went for 6 years, but there was women who I took a class specifically where she's like, when you get there, if you're a woman, you're gonna have to fight for your salary being the same, and like they're gonna lowball you, and like she was just stressed the fuck out all the time. And I'm like,
I want to say they don't lowball.
bro.
I've been in a situation, right, where I got hired at this job, and I told him how much I wanted. I actually got a girl the same job, and I told her exactly what to do. Tell him that you want this amount. When he rebuttal him with this amount. She goes, he gives her a low price, and she's okay. So men are more disagreeable. We're like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah,
I want this.
Yeah.
I don't think women really
when
fight
women
as much. I
start
kind of
to
agree.
fight and argue, that's when you're like, oh, well, I could be a man. I can argue just as good as a man, and then they become the man because.
But they don't have to argue like a man. They can just argue like a woman.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, you just fucked your whole hormone system up fighting for something that, like, why do you want to be there? When now it's like, do you want a man? It's like, oh, I don't care because I make $250K a year. I just want him to submit to me. And now the roles have changed. Right. And when there's feminine and feminine, it becomes a platonic relationship, or masculine and masculine, it becomes a platonic relationship. And they don't need each other in any type of servitude. So I argued like a woman, you're becoming argumentative or defensive, or that woman that it's like, I don't want to come home to my wife. She's fucking arguing all the time because she had to like work so hard to get her foot in the door.
I think that's kind of exaggerating that it will bleed off into the home. But I don't mean to kind of steer the conversation that way. I just wanted to kind of bring
women bring their work home more than men.
You can't just turn that off. If you're a successful woman, you're dominant, assertive, combative, competitive, and you're not gonna just turn that shit off when you get it home. So
because if I work a 9 to 5, have to come home, cook, clean, and be a mom, I'm gonna be bitter as fuck.
Oh, I bet, yeah. Women need to replenish. Did you guys hear about the cycle? That's why guys could work for longer. Guys run off a 24-hour cycle while women run off a 28-day cycle. So.
Yeah. And that's, I think, the problem, though. Like, I see nothing wrong with a woman going and getting her money and doing that. It's just,
get your bag.
You have to be aware of yourself and what you want. So if you want to be a girl boss, right, which there's plenty of doctors, there's plenty of lawyers, there's plenty of women making 6 figures. Those women know how to come home and turn it off. It's something that we have to practice, though, essentially. And I tell people this all the time. I'm a single mom. I have no choice to be. And so the thing is that I'm dominant in all of my life. It's my home. It's my my companies. It's just everywhere. Like, I have to be the dominant person. But that's where I had to be self-aware and be like, nah, girl, you need to be able to be submissive. You don't need to give direction all the time. And that's where I was faulting at. I didn't recognize that. So until I found in myself that what I actually wanted and wanted to gear to, that's where I made the switch. But a lot of us women, like, we're just in the grind mode. We're not thinking. We think like, yeah, why don't you want me? Why don't you want me? But not realizing that there's certain things that we need to adjust as well to get the other side of what we want, which is the relationship.
Yeah, and I'll definitely say get your bag. If you're a girl boss doing whatever, I've made more money being a stay-at-home mom than actually in any type of job, because I have the extracurricular activity of making money if I'd like, and it's doing what you want, right? Like, passion into profit, not like I have to provide for these kids and come home and do this. And of course, like, props to single moms, because fuck, he was in school for like a couple months and he was gone from sun up to sundown, and I was doing everything besides paying the bills. And I'm like, I couldn't imagine having to pay the bills too. Like, I would for sure be in my masculine, my hormones would be fucked up, sleep. I'm like, shout out to y'all. But yeah, even just being led by a man and then being able to like soften into that, I feel like the money you would make would be like less like, ugh, I gotta go do that.
Doesn't it take a certain type of man to take
Yeah.
you out of that
That's
masculine?
No.
Like,
No.
No.
Wait, say that again?
What was her question?
She says, doesn't it take a certain type of man to take you out of that masculine energy? The answer is no. You should be feminine all the damn time because you're a fucking woman. However,
What if you're wearing the pants in the relationship?
That
You're
was
working, you're paying the bills.
because of the choices you made on the man that you picked. True. Being an adult and paying bills is just being an adult and paying bills.
Right.
Okay? But being a feminine woman is something that you should be doing because the man that you want is not finna take you out of it. He's not gonna waste his fucking time. Why do I have to deal with this rock hard ass woman when there's 3 other feminine women over here that I could just
You take
jump
yourself out
into?
of it.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You said so. It doesn't take a certain type of man to take you out of that. And here's where I think a lot of women fucked up is in your prime years is when you should have locked down a man who has a shit together because women want an already put together man. Men will put a woman together. And you lock that man down when you are at your sexual peak because that's what men are looking for is a pretty fit feminine woman and friendly woman. And guess what you get to do? You get to have kids young. By the time you're pushing your 30s or in your mid 30s, your kids are teenagers and they don't bother you anymore. Now you can focus all the fuck you want on a career with tons of time, tons more experience, being more wise, and actually offer some shit to the world. You know what I mean? With no baby responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're younger, you also have a lot more energy to deal with babies.
So if you're not able to do that, it's the choice of the man that you're with.
Meaning?
If you're not able to provide that femininity.
You should be able to provide that femininity. You're a woman. It should be natural.
If you're in that masculinity.
Well, yeah. Then then stop for the man that you want. You know what I mean? You need to be a woman for the man that you want.
And think of it
that's where I think women misunderstand everything about this dating game. The man that you want. That's who you want. He has everything you need. And you have to be able to attract him. And by being this ultra successful woman, he don't give a fuck. Because what all of you just said, which is, I'm not going to provide for this man long term. Women don't share their resources. So as successful as a woman is, let's just say she makes $150,000 a year. She wants her man, on average, generally speaking, to make 56% more than her. So he has to make $206,000 or so to match, for her to feel comfortable to submit. Because she's ultra successful. You see what I'm saying? When in flip the table, a man making 150 grand, I don't give a fuck what you do for a living. Because I'm not looking for you to bring anything to the table besides feminine energy. You see what I'm saying? It's very simple.
It is. It's like, think of it as like flashing lights. Like if a guy, we see an attractive woman and we see her feminine, it's like alert, pay attention to her. So if you guys want to see, if you guys see a guy that you want, then being feminine is a way to get him to see you.
No, I understand. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I understand what you're saying as far as like the women's expectation, but I think sometimes though men get this confused. We're not looking for a certain dollar amount, but can you live the lifestyle that I'm currently living right now? Such as even if you're making $70,000 a year, can you provide for yourself? Do you have a car? Do you have your own place? Can you go on a trip if I say, hey babe, I want to go on a trip? Can you do that?
Not on 70 grand. Not the way you do it if you're making more than him. Again, women date across or up. So it doesn't have to be a certain dollar amount, but you're not going to date a man who cannot match you because you're going to have to pick up where he cannot. And over a long period of time, you're going to get tired of that shit. That is the biggest difference between men and women, is that you guys get tired of handling a man because you look at men for provision. Mm-hmm. Every woman looks at a man for provision. And if he cannot provide, you're not going to respect him and you're going to start looking elsewhere. On the flip side, we don't need you to provide. We've never expected you to. So if you can't, oh fucking well, I will take care of you for the rest of your life as long as you're fucking me and shutting up. Mm-mm. Yeah.
And making me look good in public.
No.
Yeah.
Let's try.
When you say shut up, what do you mean by that?
Sometimes you gotta shut up. Sometimes you do.
Stop complaining.
Complain about what?
Be chill.
Stop complaining and then word vomit. What I mean by word vomit is just talking to hear noise. You know what I mean? Because, or this one here, you know what shut up means? Don't ask men, hey, what are you thinking about? You know why? Because we don't know. It was probably whatever we were looking at.
Listen, I'm conversational girl.
Now, my biggest one is when women when they deal with problems, and it's not all of you, it's just my experience in relationships, dealing with issues, like when shit come to women, they blow that shit up. Like it's so big. You know what I mean?
They stress out.
Like
very
they stress
easy.
out so easy that it's like, and then I can come into the situation, I'm like, well, just do this.
Yeah.
And they're like, but no, fuck, just do this.
Is that
That's it.
emotion and logic?
Well, at the end of the day, it's like,
We're deductive problem solvers.
Yeah, exactly.
So you bring us a problem, we're going to try and solve it. Now, 7 out of 10 times, you don't even need a solution. You just want to vent.
yep.
And that's kind of
100%.
what we're talking about, which is we maybe turn that vent down to 30%.
Go into
Yeah.
your girls. What were
Understand.
you saying? On one of the last podcasts, you said that
Tennessee.
when women have men therapists, they end up like going through therapy quicker. But
Yeah.
sometimes they just have a woman therapist because they just want to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, like venting to your homegirls, and then it's like, oh well, I want my man to be my homegirl. And it's like, no.
No, you
No,
don't.
I don't. I don't want that at all.
Well,
So he'll give that logical, yeah.
yeah, that's the only thing that irritates me. That's when I say shut up, it's not even just shutting up. It's more like, listen, that shit is not as big. Like, we still got a house, we still
Yeah.
living, bills paid. Like, you know, are we dying? Health is good. Like, some shit is way bigger to you know what I mean, stressing over than that
Calm
little problem.
down.
You know what I mean?
Calm down. First of all, have I ever let you down?
Right. Have I ever crashed the ship?
Right? I haven't. All right. So chill the fuck out.
Okay.
Like I got this.
When you see me stressed out, maybe that's when you
Right?
start
Yeah.
stressing.
I was just gonna say, like, what if you ran into a situation? But listen, I think a lot of the times when women respond like that is, prior to the relationship with you, they did not have a safe space to go to be able to speak their feelings. Probably sometime before that, they would speak it, somebody would shut it down. So then they come into it. I understand the point where men say, don't bring that baggage, come healed. Of
But you're a
course.
human.
But thank you. Here's the thing. A lot of us, when we take that healing moment, that 6 months, that year to ourselves, we might think we come out healed until we get into a situation where we're triggered. And then that's where your reaction, we depend on that reaction to be different than what we experienced before. Because if I see the same thing, if you're shutting me down when I'm trying to express myself, I'm going back into that mode.
I actually want to. So you're saying if you're talking and you're saying something that is stressing you out, that is actually legitimately stressing you out. If the guy is not receiving that, then it's going to shut you down, and you're not going to want to be able to express some vulnerabilities to him, right?
But she's saying
Yeah.
also from a past relationship is why she's even acting that way in the first place.
I would say for all men, I was thinking about this a couple days ago, is you should be calm no matter what your girl tells you, because women tend to kind of snitch on themselves because they just talk themselves into revealing information, right? So if you are calm and composed, then there's no reason you don't even really have to snoop in on them. They're gonna reveal information to you that they otherwise wouldn't have if you always respond just as emotionally as they do when they're revealing you that information.
Just shut up and
So it's a
listen.
great strategy. That's what I'm saying.
Just shut up and listen.
Shut up and listen.
What
yes.
if you don't have to listen? What if they just honestly tell you?
What? Nobody's gonna be like, "Hey, baby, I cheated." That's what I'm
There
going
are
to the
people
extreme.
out there that
It's
are
rare.
like
But
that.
it's more rare than it is like.
What the hell did I
That
miss?
is a rare human being. Cause
I don't know. It all kind of went in a circle. I don't know.
So
I'm
here's the thing. What I did gather was the whole you take time to heal and you think you're healed and then you end up not being healed. Listen, your healing journey, that is a you thing, that is a you problem, and that is something only you can solve. No one can do it for you. No one is going to take anything off your plate because they didn't experience it. Now, what I will say is the easiest and probably only way to heal is to look yourself in the damn mirror and be accountable for the choices that you made. Now, there are there are occasions where your trauma was something you didn't have a choice over, but majority of the shit in your life is your shit based on your decisions. That's why the phrase "get your shit together" exists, because we all have shit, right? And everyone needs to get it together. Now, people don't like it because I have very little sympathy for people playing victim. At the end of the day, all of us have had traumatic experiences. All of us have suffered loss. All of us have suffered setbacks. All of us have suffered trauma. And there's no reason to try and compare trauma, because at the end of the day, no matter what you've been through, someone else has been through worse and fucking won. All right? Somebody is less fortunate than you, and their life has been piss poor longer than yours, and they still made it through and succeeded. So cut the bullshit and get your shit together, and then come correct, because it's no one else's responsibility to fix your shit. You see what I'm saying?
No, I agree. And so, like, if...
Then why are you yelling at me?
I'm not yelling at you. In new said relationship, like I said, you become triggered. In that moment, that is our accountability in that moment, to recognize that, okay, yeah, no, this isn't from him. That's from something before. So in that moment, that's where we are held accountable to apologize, to recognize, and to fix it going forward. But what I'm saying is that if it's something that is the same of what they were doing before, that's where us women have to make that choice, though. Is this good for us? Is this man actually listening to us and giving me what I need? I think a lot of times women are scared to actually see the truth that a man's not good for them mentally.
We're
Okay, I
trying to
don't
be like fixer-uppers, or like, I
Yeah.
could change.
Again,
or-
accountability.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. It's like, but what you said, we have the choice. We have the choice. We had the choice to who we laid down with and had kids with. We had the choice to either work on our own emotional problems, say that your man left you because you was acting local in the head, right? And a little too crazy for him. But why did you not change those things when he's addressing it? Same thing to the man, though. If I'm over here telling you this is what I need emotionally, you either want to do it or not. So if a man's telling you he's not going to do it, you as a woman have a choice. Don't stay and keep nagging him because he's not doing it for you. If you've already addressed it with him, he doesn't want to do it, then leave.
That depends on the relationship, because if you guys are married, no, you need to keep your ass there, because you guys made a vow before God. And today's society, that is the easiest contract to fucking break. If other contracts were broken as easy as marriage, nothing would get done. Nothing would get done, because it's till death do us part. It is for better or worse. So that means worse, you still have to be here. It means for richer or poorer. So if I fall off and we're poor, you still need to be here.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? But that's not how women work.
So you
And
don't
that's not
believe-
how society works today. 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women, whether it's cheating or finances. Either way, it was richer or poorer, and poorer they left. And then cheating, better or worse they left. And the vow before God just didn't mean shit, along with the contract of marriage. It's the easiest shit in the world to break. So where is the incentive for the man to get married in the first fucking place?
Well, that's the point. It's like, somebody gave the analogy today. I think in today's society, it's more of building Build-A-Bear. Like, you build your own relationship. People need to find exactly the people who work with them. It's all about a balance. You can't just what you saying earlier, alpha and alpha, they don't match together. It's about a balance. You have to have, a certain dynamic in the household to make it work. So when I was stating, though,
It's a yin and a yang,
Right.
masculine and feminine.
Exactly. And so when I was stating earlier, we have a choice. Yeah, I'm talking about in the dating stage. If you see that there's behaviors that you don't like, you have the choice to leave. But at the same time, marriage is compromising. It's a partnership. You have to compromise in some sort of way. So if you see that you have an emotional woman, but she is the most perfect thing outside of that, listen, you got to ease up on her a little bit and give her that comfort that she needs. If she crosses off every single last, check that you need.
Where is
from
she
her.
compromising for
I
him?
think
What if he's the
But that's
perfect
what I'm saying.
man and all he needs is somebody who's less emotional?
See, I think
Then it doesn't balance.
Okay, so what I'm saying is it's not a compromise, it's a damn duty. Marriage is a duty. The man does what he's supposed to do, the woman's supposed to do what she's supposed to do. It is work. It ain't easy. Anything worth having ain't easy.
Absolutely.
So it ain't just walk away, even if it is just the dating stage or the relationship. Again, accountability. You chose that person. So you've wasted time. How much time are you going to waste? How many times are we going to go through this revolving door of it wasn't perfect, so I bounced. It wasn't perfect, so I bounced. You don't do that with jobs. You don't do that with kids. You don't do that with anywhere else in life. But it is with the man that you do that with. The person that's supposed to, not just the person, the thing that's supposed to continue society is the easiest shit to give up on.
You're right.
So again, like it sounds good to say all the things that you're saying, but at the end of the day, the biggest thing is that women are the ones giving up They leave more. When was the last time you got broke up with? You probably break up with most of the men you date. You probably break up with most of the men you date. You probably break up with most of the men you date.
Not
Most.
necessarily. 'Cause
Most?
it goes back to what I was saying earlier.
Majority.
Like what you said.
Closer to the mic.
We get broken up with too, but we get broken up with by the man that can break up.
With you.
Yeah.
But how many times does that
But
happen?
it's not.
is
It
what I'm
doesn't
saying.
happen as often.
No, it doesn't.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's
So-
a rare person.
And it's because of society today. The difference between why do you think a lot? Well, I wouldn't say our parents, but our parents are still fucking married. You know, I'm talking grandparents if they're still here. But like those relationships last because women had to go outside to be seen. Today you ain't gotta go outside. You're mad at your boyfriend. You put your ass on the counter in the fucking
50
bathroom.
DMs.
But, you know what I'm saying? like you have unlimited attention, but women conflate sexual attention with options for a relationship. So you have no incentive to stay because you think that you have an endless supply of men, and you do have an endless supply of men to fuck you, but you don't have an endless supply of men who are worth you, who can give you what you need, and who actually want you. You see what I'm saying? And then you don't have the effort to try and keep said man because there's a lot more men that would stay with you if you showed any kind of fucking effort. But as soon as shit don't go your way, y'all start nagging and bitching and complaining and saying you ain't shit and this and that. And it's like, where is your effort in this relationship? Why do I have to be so perfect for your average ass?
Church.
I want to move on. Next topic.
God, bro.
Shut up.
Let's ask the.
If you were a man, would you date your friends?
Some
And
of
we'll go back. Which way did we go first?
Let's go this way.
Let's go that way.
Say the names of your friends too,
Yeah,
so
you've
they
been
know.
awfully quiet.
I'm just playing.
Put their Instagrams. We'll put them
Right,
out.
so they know.
I wouldn't date her.
You will not be friends after this.
If I was a man, would I date my friends?
Yeah.
No. No.
Why?
They are following her right now.
Whores.
500 followers down to 3 followers after this.
Just because, like, I would want to date somebody that's more like me, and it seems a lot of my friends have a different personality than I do.
Then why are they your friends?
Because we get along, you know, opposites attract. We get
But
along.
Yeah, males and
something
females.
that relates.
No, females too. You know,
I'm just fucking with you.
it works with females too, but no, honestly, I can't think of any of my friends that I would date.
They're not bad enough.
The Libra's like, you wouldn't date me? I'm the most beautiful person in this room.
So some of my friends I would date, absolutely. It also depends on the season I am in my life. The same applies with like my friendship with them as well. How, when, and where I hang out with them.
Okay.
So, yes, absolutely, I would date most of my friends.
Dope. That's a lot of. I don't feel like a lot of women can say that.
I mean, you got a good circle.
Right? What about you?
I don't have a lot of friends.
Okay, Jess.
I have a lot of acquaintances or people who know me,
Right.
but I don't.
Why is that?
When you work on your mindset, you get rid of a lot of people who aren't working on their shit.
There it is.
Yeah. So
Deep.
there's not a lot of people who like I can like relate to.
You know, that's real shit. I don't mean to cut you off, but like, I've noticed that the more you excel, the more you work on yourself, the better you get at life. People just aren't there no more.
Facts.
Because they don't want to do what you're doing, and they can't do what you do. And although they want to see you do well, they hate that you're doing better than them. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's a tough one. But
New
at the end of the
levels, new
day,
devils.
I mean, shit.
Okay.
At the right. New
Yep,
levels, new
it's right
devils.
there.
At the end of the day, though, like the road to success is a lonely road.
It is.
And it's lonely at the top because there ain't a lot of room up there.
See, it's lonely at the bottom too because you have like 1,000 people, but you're conflating that to like relationships, but really it's just people who will go to the club with you.
There it is.
And so then once you get out of that scene, you are like, oh shit, I ain't got nobody. Become a mom, work on your mindset, start working out, start eating better. People are like, oh, you too good for dinner, you know? And
You kind of want to look at me like, kinda. Yeah, I'm not with that shit no
That's
more.
why you gotta have like every friend I have is like pretty much successful as me or more, and so we don't hang out as much because we all fucking busy.
right, birds of a feather. So I have a few friends, but I don't think I would date them. I mean, I date women, and that would be really gay to say. Like, no.
Have you dated a woman that is now your friend?
I've dated some of my friends actually. I've like been with and tried it, but then I was like, that's why we keep things separate.
And y'all still cool?
Yeah.
I was about to say, she said tried it like it was a dish of like sushi or something.
When Jess, when you say that you wouldn't date your friend, what would be the reason why though? Is it personality? Is the lifestyle? Is it like, what is it? Looks?
You can just say they're not my type and weasel your way out of it.
This reminds me of you seen Chuck and Larry? Chuck and Larry when he's like, why wouldn't you date me?
No, I think a lot of them aren't my type. I like melanated women.
Okay.
And I don't like women with the same like skin color as me.
Yeah, that's the hardest part about
I like
adding a
big
bitch to this
titties.
relationship.
Need some black chicks?
She's still,
It's not that we just need black chicks, but it's like
Not like
it's
look
for the
culture,
black
too.
woman though. It's like, does she like black men and black women, or is she open to
But
white
it's
women?
funny because
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of light skins, because their mom is white, they'll go for white women and then black men, like what they were raised around.
I agree. We're biracial, and my mother only dated white men.
Yeah, see, and what I was gonna say was I really like cultured women because like we've had some women who can't cook, can't clean. They're basically like a child. It's like I have another child here, but when there's like someone who was raised right, which is typically someone with some culture and some color to their skin, they're trying to take care of you. They're trying to clean up your dish after you. They're trying to like.
'Cause we got our ass beat.
What can I do?
I understand the dynamic.
But also, they're the one to like rub your back at night, and they're the one to like text you, "Hey, have a good day." But like, white bitches ain't doing that. But also, I mean,
It's not true. You do it. I know plenty of white bitches who want to clean for me.
I grew up around mostly a diverse. I wasn't around my own people, so I don't know. If there's a room full of white people, I'm like, this is not the room to be in. I'm like, we gotta go.
You guys
This
are gonna
is
get
not
kicked
it.
off of YouTube.
Facts.
Racist,
But no, I wouldn't
But
date
she's
my
white,
friends
so
because I feel
you get a
like
pass.
right?
I wouldn't date my friends because I feel like they're not my type.
Okay, that's fair.
But I am starting to get some melanated friends, and they're pretty cute. So,
They know who they are.
right?
My turn.
No homo.
Okay, so ask me this question 4 years ago, I would say hell no. Just due to the lifestyle at that time and that stage in my life. If you ask me now, hell yes. All of my friends, my sisters, everybody I surround myself are married and have great men. So those are the women that, because again, I'm at a different point in my life, I surround myself with women that hold qualities and traits that I want to be able to learn from them and hopefully be in that same position. So yeah, I love my friends. I would definitely be with them.
nice.
Yeah, I'm not answering this question, and neither should you two.
Can't you can answer anything you say no homo after.
No, there's
No homo,
there's no
pause.
homo. Put it this way: no, I'm not dating none of you niggas at all.
Facts.
You guys
We
are-
can go to the movies though.
You guys are too short for me.
Facts.
You would want someone taller than you?
Yeah, Troy's like, yeah, I don't got nobody to pick from.
You stupid.
Yeah, well, let's move on.
That's funny.
All right, I really want to know what your guys' answer is on this one. Okay, your son tells you his fiance has a high body count and he's uneasy about it. What do you say to him? Starting with you.
You knew what you was walking into. Why'd you propose?
No, maybe he just found out.
You want my
And I don't think he said they're married, right? It's just
it's
a
fiancé.
just
It's
fiance. Oh, okay.
A closet whore?
I mean, what's the body count?
It's
How do
high.
you not know?
It's yeah.
Well, a lot of people
agree.
don't
Like,
know.
how do you not identify that? We just talked about it earlier. Like, you men can be able to see a woman and see if she is promiscuous.
It's just an educated guess. It's still.
Yeah, because you guys are gonna take your real number to the fucking grave. That's
Like
the thing
Sarah
I've
used
noticed
to
about
be.
women. Women will lie to the grave. Women will get up to heaven and the pearly gates, and Jesus will tell them, "Why'd you lie about that?" I don't know what you're talking about. I'll put that on you. I wasn't lying.
I would say.
You know I can see everything, right?
And this,
Put that on you.
Thought you
guys.
was asleep.
So then I would say this, because I'm a mother of 3 girls. So, you know, that's where I have to also have that perspective of if this is my daughter and she's coming across this situation, I pray to God not. But let's just talk about reality though. So I would first identify, is that something that was a long time ago? You know, how long have y'all been together? There's so many different, what's the word I'm looking for?
Variances or
Thank you.
nuances to look at it.
Yeah, because it really just depends. Like, was that something that she did during her college days, but now she's 26 years old? You know, she's changed her lifestyle. You guys have been committed. She's been faithful. She's good to you. Does she want to settle down, have a family? No judgment at all. Now, let's just say that you fell in love with the girl real quick and proposed after 3 months, right? And then you find out that she was just sleeping up until the moment she met you.
That's on you.
I have to tell you, baby, you gotta do what's best for you. I can't have that opinion, you know? I might have that stank face, like, it doesn't seem like she's out of that life yet, you know? I would have a concern at that point. But I do believe that that doesn't hold value to the woman. I think you have to look at her for who she actually is, though.
Okay.
I would say if you can't get that taste out of your mouth and like it's just gonna be something you hold over her for the rest of her life, then you need to break it off.
Right.
Like, cause I mean, someone will say like I'm over it, and then it'll be the topic of discussion every night, and then they're arguing forever and just not happy, and that's toxic and abusive, and so it's like, if that's something that's a deal breaker for you, then break that shit off.
I agree with what you said. I actually have a almost 21-year-old son.
What?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
GTFOH.
We need identification.
Yeah, he'll be 21 next month, and he's been dating his girlfriend for about 4 years now. And if he brought that to me and today, I'd say, you know, like, why did you stay with her that long? If
Well,
you
I'm
can't
saying
handle
he
it-
came to you like,
I have no knowledge of any of this.
and he didn't know.
So basically she just like disclosed this. I would ask him like, how does that affect you? Like physically and mentally, how does that affect you?
But if they've been together, let's say 4 years, and this was, you know, well before that, then what would you say?
How does that affect you physically and mentally?
Yeah.
So you need to make your decision based off of physically, do you think that you can no longer be sexual with her? And mentally, do you think it's going to be compounding you every single day? Like, oh, I'm turning this hoe into a house.
But from 4 years ago, though?
Like,
I got
I'm
a
not-
lot to say.
not-
Go ahead.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm a mother
Closer
of
to the
3
mic.
girls. I have 3 girls, so I hope my daughters are never in this position. But
It wouldn't be the same if they were in this position. I'm talking about if you had a
But
son.
if I had a son and my son was in this position, I agree with Jessica. I agree with everything that you guys have said. I just have to ask you how you feel about it and how it's going to affect you long term. And if you can't deal with it, then get out.
Can I say this real quick though? Please, mothers with sons, because again, I have 3 daughters too. Please don't ever tell my daughter's sexual business to your mama, because if your mama want to pop off one day, she got a mama too. Okay, that's all right.
Violence.
Do
Violence
you
right away.
two have anything to say before I go?
Will, you have something?
I don't know, man. Troy ain't gonna like my answer.
I'm probably not.
Why not Trey?
Go ahead.
Well, because I've dated women who had, you know what I mean, bunch
Promiscuous
of
pasts.
Yeah, promiscuous past, and I didn't give a shit because I'm different on that aspect of, like, if this with society, like we were just talking about, like we were talking about like prime women, right? Is in your prime now with society is different. In your prime is your hope stage now. It's not your prime is not finding a man and settling down in marriage like it used to be, right?
Well, I mean, it should be.
It should be, but it's not. It's not like that anymore, right? So now it's like a lot of men are dealing with. Now, if you're settling down with the woman in your 30s or whatever the case may be, you're dealing with a lot of women that has promiscuous past, and a lot of women now, they're okay with having that promiscuous past. You know, saying like, "Oh yeah, I was fucking going crazy in college. I was going crazy." You know what I mean? Now it's more, they're more open. Before they were more like trying to hide it. Not no more.
Oh yeah,
it's
no,
no more.
It's extremely acceptable. I mean, shit, just the music and the culture and all that other
It's
stuff.
not no more.
You don't have songs like "Wet Ass
Exactly.
Pussy."
So at the end of the
You're
day,
ashamed of it.
yeah. So you have to be more acceptable of it now, unfortunately, because now you got to think about how many women, like if you're dating someone in their 30s, how many women didn't have a past now?
Mm-hmm.
It's rare. So it's like,
And if she didn't, you're like, what's wrong?
yeah,
Right,
like what?
right.
So now, I mean, like,
You're a virgin.
it's like if you find a gem like that, cuff her right away because it's not many.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we talk about, you know, women and their options and the kind of men they want is 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", and the 100,000. All those, it's the same with women. Now you're talking about, oh, I want a woman that does this, that does that, who hasn't slept with more than 3 men.
Well,
and
just
this
as hard to find.
Yes,
Just as hard to
it's
find.
very hard to find.
Just as hard
So
to find.
now you're telling your son, hey, you have a fucking great woman that you love to death, that she's providing you everything that you want, but she has a past that was well before you.
Right.
Now leave her for that. And I couldn't tell my son that if he found a good woman. I couldn't.
That's a strong argument.
You guys
That makes
understand?
sense.
That is a strong argument.
Go ahead.
He's ready to blow.
If my son is like anything like me, then fuck no. Like, listen, I feel like there needs to be some definition changes, right? Push it up like this. All right. I think there's a lot of conflating of what an alpha male is, and then they say high value man. I think the word should change from high value man to high desirable man. And high value is characteristics and attributes a man develops within. Like knights and warriors, right, from back in the day, those were high value men because they had honor, morale. They fight for the people who
Battle-tested.
yeah. So I think developing the attributes within yourselves is increasing your value. Then you have the desirable value of height, charisma, and stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
As a guy, I'm only going to answer it from my perspective because of all the shit that I do. How much disciplines I do in a day. I'm working out. I'm fucking writing all day. I'm doing meditating. I'm doing brain exercises just so that I can be charismatic. So when a woman sees me, she sees that I'm sharp. I'm intellectually sharp. I do martial arts so she can see that I'm physically able to handle myself. I strength train so that I look good physically. Right? I have all these things that I'm doing, and then the girl just brings herself to the table. So if I'm putting all that work to increase my value, then I, just like an athlete who fights to win the championship belt, to say that this is my belt, no other dude, even though you guys are competitive as fuck, and even though you guys do have value, you can't touch this belt. This is mine now.
Until you
take it from me. Yeah. So it's the same concept is, if I'm doing all this effort, then I want something that I can feel appreciated and feel like it's sacred because no other man got to see this part of her. I can hold her hand and be comfortable knowing that, hey, nobody else had that.
That shit's so rare though.
But here's another perspective too. Is I come from a city where people get murdered a lot. High crime rate, and the crime rate is specifically because of women sleeping around. So there's that and deeply embedded of the type of trouble that woman can bring onto my possible son's life. Just because she's being a little bit more flirtatious and maybe she don't have those type of boundaries. And I've been into LA. I'm from Massachusetts and Boston, right? And I've been in Arizona and I lived in a small town. I would say that in the small town, there is a lot of women that are still that way, who value their high body count and they're very particular on the men. A low body count. Sorry if I said high body count. But so it depends where you're at. You're not gonna find low body count in Miami. You're not gonna find low body count in LA or New York. But if you want,
We'd be searching forever, bro.
just go to small towns. Like if that's what you want, then you're
Middle
gonna
America.
have a higher probability of finding that in a small town. So
In those small towns, though, they also do get married very young as
Very young.
well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just more traditional in those types of
Yeah.
atmospheres. So
Let's go, Troy. What you saying?
All right, I just want to preface
get comfortable.
he's getting adjusted.
preface my statement by saying I am with you, Will, to a certain extent that I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I said, I like hoes. But I'm also with him from the standpoint of, first of all, let me just say that all of you gave piss poor advice. I asked you what you would tell your son.
Now you're tapping this person.
No, all of the women gave piss poor advice on what the fuck you would tell your son if he came to you and said, Mom, I just found out my fiance has a high body count and I don't feel good about it. And you said, well, how is that going to make you feel? Can you not have sex with her and this and that? That's not what he feels bad about. He feels bad about the simple fact that this woman's been around the block and I fell in love with her and I asked her to marry me. And she's shown no responsibility, no accountability, and just gave something away that takes no effort to give to any and everybody. How do I win? Where is she the prize for me? Because she just let everybody have it, but I'm the one who's supposed to wife her up?
That's why I said leave.
That's his choice.
I'm gonna say this: take your accountability for not finding out prior.
No. That's what I'm saying. Because he just found out.
So he was naive as fuck.
Sure. He was naive. Okay,
accountability.
but since you had a naive son and he came to you with a problem, you don't tell him like, just work around it, or if you can't deal with it and this and that. No, you tell him.
Now fuck that bitch.
That's why boys need fathers.
Absolutely, because
I'm gonna say they were the best for you, baby.
that's what I'm saying. So check this out. As a woman, you get to choose who you sleep with. As a man, it takes value, and you have to earn the ability to sleep with women. So most men sleep with who they can. Women sleep with who they want. Okay, but men are the ones who commit for a relationship. So a man is the one who's going to give you the ring. And how does that man win the game after working his ass off, like he just said, to give it to somebody that everybody else threw back to the streets? And you told your son, how does it make you feel?
No, I said if you can't.
Not just you. This is everybody.
I'm saying I'm not losing piss poor advice.
Here's the thing.
What did you say?
Leave her.
No, I said if you can't get past that shit, then leave.
Yeah, she did say that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
So here's the
everybody
thing. What if the mama that he's
Emotional
asking
damage.
had a high body count? It all depends. I don't think
Say that
that's
again?
like. What if his mom was a hoe back in the day? She really can't sit here and tell her son to leave that girl because
That's it.
That's
the best one. That's the best one.
That's
the best
Had
one.
a high body count. Okay. Would you look at your mom less than?
Probably,
I mean,
but still love her. But no,
My mom been with my dad since 15, so I'm straight.
but
18 and 20. I don't know.
but yeah, no, the whole mom is gonna be able to sit there and say, why do you think I'm single?
She's gonna be like, listen, darling, your mama was at home back then.
Probably not a great idea. And I don't have a whole lot of self-control, so this bitch definitely don't.
I'm the Wizards of Hoes. I know how they think, alright?
She's still hoeing.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I do agree. It's definitely difficult to find. But
Yes.
again, that's the whole point as a man, why you need to become high value and high desirable and mesh those two fucking things together. Because the more you can bring to the table, the more shots you can call. You don't have to negotiate with women. You either get with it or you don't. And as a man, again, since I'm the one giving the relationship, I can wait as long as I want because I don't decrease in value. Unfortunately, and you're not gonna like this, but women do. As you age, your value is not the same. So I can work my way towards 40 and 50 and make more money and still be handsome and still be successful and all these other things and go grab me 26-year-old who does have a low body count who wants to stop working. You see what I'm saying? So it may take me longer, but guess what? I can fuck on my way there. So it may be hard to find, but I have time to find it. You see what I'm saying? Now, as a woman, you don't have the same amount of time to find that man that 40-year-old became. You need to do that shit when he wants you. And the main reason he's going to want you is that you have enough self-control to know that I want not just a good man and a leader, but I want a lifestyle, and I know that I need to earn it just like I need to earn anything else in life.
But also the time depends on what you want in life as a man. Like if you want kids early, you know, one thing that I was always afraid of, I didn't want to, you know, my dad was older, a little bit older than when he had me and my brother and my sister were so far apart. They got to see Pops playing baseball on the field, still young, playing basketball in the driveway, stuff like that. I was on the tail end of that. So I didn't want to be that dad that didn't have that time with my son. So it is like waiting, but
But
you
peep
know,
this: if you know that and you're doing it now, you're in better shape now than you've been when you was younger. You're working harder now than you did when you was younger. So you're gonna have longevity as you get older because you're taking shit more serious. So as a man, like I see it all the time at the gym every day I go. I see dudes with gray hair, ripped, active,
saw shit
hooping.
today.
I'm about to say playing ball.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And they can still do it. You know what I mean? Because they didn't have the stressors of kids and all those other things too damn early that made them fall into and kind of go away from their goals. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But as you chase your goals and continue to achieve your goals, you're just going to goal on top of goal on top of goal, and you're going to take shit more serious, which means you're going to have the longevity to still be an active dad. You know what I mean? But that's all I'm saying. Like you don't if your son comes to you and says, "I just found out that my fiance has a high body count," and he's not okay with it, then you let him know. Then, well, you just wasted a lot of time.
I want to know how he found out.
Right? Hey, because see here, that's the thing, women. I need women to understand that it's different for men and women. Women don't want a man other women don't want. A man's body count is not nearly as important to a woman that a woman's body count is to a man. Women understand that men who can fuck have achieved things that attract other women. They're attracted to it. He's desirable. He's successful. He's handsome. Whatever it is, he's capable of attracting other women. And your competitive nature makes you want that man. It's not the same for men. We're not looking at women like she can fuck. She's earned the right to fuck because all of you.
I just saw her get piped down by 20 dudes. I want that.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
trying to wipe that up.
It's not the same. We want, as a man, because we have to work so hard to get your attention in the first place, the last thing we want to do is know that everybody else has had you. How do I walk around holding your hand and feeling like I'm the fucking winner of this game?
You don't.
You see what I'm saying?
Nope.
So if your son comes to you, you tell him.
Now fuck that bitch.
Yeah,
I would just go to my man and say, "You tell him."
I want to know. I want to know how many women would actually sleep with a guy and like, you know, he's never slept with a woman before,
Right?
But you know what? We're gonna work with him.
That 4-year-old virgin.
Yeah, that's not how it goes.
No,
I'm gonna
there's
teach him
that.
some stuff.
There's that meme that's like.
Do you want a higher body count than your man?
No.
All right then. Stop giving it out.
There's that meme with like the girl holding the guy's hand and she's like, he was in my
whoa.
DMs, and she's like,
I'm not mad about them giving it out now.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
Please dish it out. We just might not wife it.
anyways, there was that meme with a woman and a man holding a hand, like together going to get married, and the girl behind them is like, he was in my DMs, and she's like, yeah, and I took advantage of him in the DMs. Like, it doesn't matter. But sometimes women are like, oh, well, he's talked to everybody, but men are like selecting, you know.
We
No,
have
that's
to. It's
what
all
we
That's
do.
why it's like the pick
That's-
me. It's
that's-
like, why not
it's a
be
numbers
picked?
game.
That's
But
what we
the
do.
women, if it's like she's like, oh dog, we all been with her. Like no man wants to hear that shit.
Yeah, and fellas, you do have to, because that was another thing you guys said. Like, well, if it was in her past and she's changed now and all those other things, you don't change that damn much, okay? And on top of that, like, men need to be more selective about who they listen to when it comes to the bashing of a woman that they're interested in. That was more so in high school. Than you don't see it as much as an adult, but like, you guys remember in high school when you liked a girl, everybody, oh yeah, man, she was behind the bleachers with a couple of dudes from the football team and this and that. And then you get the story and it's like, no, that's not what happened at all. You know what I'm saying?
And then the dude's at home crying, playing fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah, but the thing is
Fuck
like
that
those are men who want her ass too. You know what I'm saying?
I've
But
had that
you know,
There's a comment.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
the bigger issue is accountability and communication as a man. If this is a topic that is important to you, then have a conversation, should we?
Absolutely
Facts.
agree. That's what we were saying earlier. Take the accountability of not having it prior.
See, I ask like 1,000 questions before I'm like, you have a car? Who are you? Where did you work? What's your sister's name? And so if that never came up, I'm like, You're
How
a
would you
dummy.
feel if somebody
You're a
grilled
dummy
you
for
like
not
that?
No, it's casual.
Oh, yeah.
You get the questions in as you get to know somebody.
You know
I'm
you
nosy
had
as
those
fuck. I need
conversations.
to know everything.
You don't have those conversations.
I said you all at some point in your relationship you always had that conversation.
Yeah, but before you put a ring on it, yeah.
But I mean, I would advise men. Okay, most men don't bring it up. Women usually bring it up, and then it comes up in conversation because no matter what she tells you, you're not gonna like the fucking answer.
Never.
Women that are bringing that up are the ones that have a high body count.
No,
Right.
they just want to know. They're
Type of
curious.
way.
I don't have that. I've never had that conversation with a woman asking about her body count. To be honest, I've never asked. I don't give a shit. Just tell me if it's one of the homies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've only had one. I've only had one person ever ask me that, and it was my ex-husband.
Yeah, men shouldn't be asking.
No, yeah.
I don't ask.
Because again,
Yeah.
you're not gonna like the answer. She could say 3, she could
Exactly.
say 30,
Right.
and you're not gonna.
Just
like
tell
the
me if
answer.
you've seen one of my friends and you know him. Like, let me know. Like, oh, I talked to him before. Like that conversation. Other than that, I'm not gonna really ask. And by the way, that's my nephew. He's like the most mature 22-year-old you're gonna ever
Oh,
meet.
wow.
He's
Well, do it
22.
mentally?
That's
Well-
He's 22 years old, and he's like. I say it has a lot to do with me because I didn't, you know what I mean. But yeah,
I know, right? He's like, I'm asking that question.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Well, do you want to be the breadwinner, or would you rather be a stay-at-home mom?
well, I think we kind of covered that.
I don't know. Did we?
Kind of like I think they all kind of said that they would the feminine questions, stuff like that.
I mean, they were asking how to do it. But
Yeah.
like, what would you rather do?
Yes. You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to be a stay-at-home mom. But again, accountability, the men that I chose and the position that I'm in today, I was not able to have that opportunity. So I had to create that. So now I have to be that working mom in order to provide a life of being a stay-at-home mom. But yeah, if in the future, if I end up settling down, marrying somebody and they say, hey, I want to have more kids or I want to have a child, I'd absolutely give it to them. But I want the experience of being a stay-at-home mother. Absolutely. I think it's crucial for children to have their moms at home with them for a length of period of time.
As a stay-at-home mom who had my mother as the breadwinner, I always thought that I wanted to be the breadwinner. That's why I went to school to be an engineer, because I'm like, I don't want to have to need for anything. And I had never seen a man step up and pay a bill or open a car door. And so sometimes women see that as a red flag. Like, why is this man trying to do all this stuff for me? Is he trying to lock me down so I can't do anything?
Right.
And he's gonna take away my rights, right? And so Troy right away was like,
My rights.
you don't need to go to that job or whatever, or oh, I'll just put you on my phone bill. And I'm like, who is he talking to? Because I had never had that before. And I always saw a breadwinner, and so I didn't want that to be taken away from me. I feel like I clung to my job until the day that I literally was in labor, and then became a stay-at-home mom. And it was such a transition. And at first I feel like I was fighting it, and I'm like, I want to be able to have a say and make some money so I have a say. But now, hindsight is 2020, and now I'm a stay-at-home mom, and it's hard. It's hard those first couple years with babies, because you feel like you're doing it all by yourself, but you're not, because you're not providing. So I couldn't even imagine providing and having a baby. But I would hands fucking down, bitch. Be a fucking stay-at-home mom if you can. If he's trying to pay that bill, bitch, stay home with that kid. I'd be damn, people are at work right now, and I'd be just texting people. I'm just went to Target, just got a fucking Starbucks. The girls are playing. Of course you're gonna be annoyed. It's work, but I would 1,000,000,000% be a fucking stay-at-home mom.
I like how when you say bitch, the voice go deep.
Yeah, I'm bitch. That's what I tell my clients. I'm
That shit came from a deep part of me,
Right?
You better stop being. What are you doing? So, that's my answer. 100%. Love my life. But I still make money, more money than I've ever fucking made at any job.
I think it's important to have a hobby though as a stay-at-home.
Oh hell yeah! I feel like everyone's
Go
gonna
crazy.
lose themselves the first
Can't
couple
talk to
years.
kids all day like that.
Yeah, postpartum, whatever. You're definitely. It's not how it used to be. I don't have my mom to come help. I don't have friends who have the same age kids. Mommy and me groups. Don't do that. It's toxic. At least the ones on like people are like Facebook groups, like they're just gonna talk shit about their husbands and
Right.
like complain about how fucked up their life is. But it's hard. But those first couple years, but would you rather be working too? Because that's fucking even harder, and you're not sleeping. But yeah, no, I 1,000,000,000% stay home mom. Worth it.
I would have loved to have been a stay-at-home mother. I would prefer to do that. In my current day and age, I would love to be a stay-at-home partner for my partner.
I love that.
I like that.
That's dope.
Yeah.
It's really
Being a
convenient for us,
homemaker.
too. For a man, like if she's
Yeah.
at home.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's
Facts.
it's
I think
very
people take that
convenient.
away too. Like being a homemaker, like if you're literally maintaining a home, and
That's a job.
It is, and
You're
it's like
raising
such
the
an
next
asset.
generation. What other like
Even
that's
like
so
an
much
empty
power.
nester too.
Yeah.
Even without kids there, like whenever they leave the house, like if you're a stay-at-home partner and you're doing things that are like fucking making food from scratch, or like, hey, do you need anything at work? I can drop by really quick. Like you're taking care of what he could hire someone to do, but then it's just like.
Being that support, giving that assist.
Yep.
And she's not just talking. I've been in the barbershop and she'll bring some shit by for Troy, so she's not lying.
I had to do some shit today.
Yeah, shit. I had a hell of a day. Yeah.
Drop whatever you're doing for your partner. Absolutely.
But we got her still. We still got another one.
Go ahead.
I would have liked to when I first had children. As a mother of 3, I don't think that that's like a possibility at this current stage of my life. But
Shit, anything's a possibility.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but it's not necessarily something that I want. Like I want to earn my own money too. So like how you're a stay-at-home mompreneur,
Yeah.
like that would be amazing. But it's not necessarily something that I want.
Okay, which brings me to my next question. Would you rather be a mediocre mother or a mediocre career woman? You go. Or go back around this way.
Jeez.
Like deep.
Right?
I thought
Call your job and quit today. I'm just kidding.
I'd rather be a mediocre career woman. I want to raise my kids right. I want them to be better than I am. And once they're raised up right, then I can go out there and be this amazing career woman.
Yeah, that's what he was saying earlier.
That's what you said earlier.
Yeah.
That's what Troy said earlier.
What did I say?
About, you know,
Having
your
that
prime
anxiety,
time
yeah.
and then later on you can
Yeah.
do that career shit later.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like what you want to do. You know what I mean? Being a stay-at-home partner, like you have endless amounts of time to do whatever hobby.
Right,
Like, Just
exactly.
hop on TikTok. You see a lot of women doing it, making tons of money with trinkets, with hobbies, with skills that they've learned. I mean, who ain't learned something from TikTok from a stay-at-home white woman?
Yeah. I just
I
got
know
this.
sourdough bread. I'd be
Yeah.
like, bitch, what did you say? How many grams of flour?
Yeah, my daughter dropped some shit on the carpet. I went and looked up how to get that up. Okay, cool, we good.
Yeah. So, what about you?
So I would prefer to be a mediocre career woman because I believe in full circle and I'd want to provide the best to my children because I'm going to grow old and I want them to remember how I took care of them and provide that to me if
And
I
see,
ever
I
needed
think
it.
a lot of women, I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel like that's the worst, I think that is the biggest problem with today's society is this whole boss babe movement and all that other stuff. The most validation you're going to get from life as a woman is
Kids.
being a grandma and seeing 3 generations of people that you made. You know what I mean? And them loving you and doing anything for you and wanting to be around you because of what a dope person you were, not how hard you worked and how much money you made and all this other stuff because you're absent. You know what I mean? It's not okay, but it's more acceptable for that man to be absent. The man comes home and even if he is absent because of work, as soon as, I mean, shit, still to this day, there's no scarier phrase than I'm gonna tell your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's just a difference in the children. You guys have seen it when you do have that man there or a grandpa there or something like that. You could sit there and be just repeat it 30 fucking times. Go pick up your shoes. Go clean up your room. This, and that. And then that man walks in there and like, sit the fuck down and do this. And that kid shuts up and does what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. But and when it's all said and done, those kids are gonna remember all the love that you gave them, all the wisdom you gave them, all the peace that you gave them, and that feeling of human that men are very difficult at trying to give to someone else.
The emotional part.
We can't even do it. Like the baby is literally coming from them, so we don't have that level of attachment.
It's a different connection.
Yeah,
it's a different. And
how many kids is too many? It ain't too many is when you can't afford them.
Mind your business.
And that's my answer. I mean, that's up to anybody else, but I'll Nick Cannon this shit if you give me enough money.
What I was gonna say is, and you know your mom better than your father too.
Yeah.
Because you spend so much time. When I was growing up, my dad got a job where he was always on the road. So me and moms was like, that connection will never, that bond will never be.
But just having that.
Oh yeah. I got lucky. Yeah, I got lucky. Got both of my parents been together for over 40 years. So I got lucky. Yeah.
They be at his concerts and shit.
Yeah, they don't miss a show. They don't miss a show. Yeah, my pops used to hot box with me in the car growing up.
I would say a mediocre businesswoman. And like I said, I mean, I haven't always thought this way. I was like, because I saw people, you take your 6 weeks, you go back to work, you continue in some type of role, you have some type of rapport, but I saw them also come home and have to still cook and clean, and I'm like, why don't I just do that and just that? Because but I will say, like, there are times where stay-at-home moms just want to be like, oh, I just want to work. Like, I just want that time, like, away from the house, away from the kids. But being a mediocre, businesswoman, I would much rather be. And I think I'm starting to realize now that, like, I would rather raise my kids. Of course, I wish I could just be like, fuck, I just need a babysitter or, like, a nanny, someone else to fucking listen to these kids and be referee all day. And, like, I have 2 from my body and then 4 altogether. And it's, like, people are like, oh, you're a superwoman. And it's, like, I didn't see it like that at first. I was like, who the fuck is going to help me? But then it grows on you to where you're like, I am so replaceable at a job. Like, I could die and they would replace me.
But you are not.
But within that next 5 minutes.
I am not replaceable.
You ain't replaceable as
their mom.
The place of the home, you're not replaceable, like, as the wife of course you're replaceable as a wife, but, like, as the mother of that man's children, and to those children, your mom. Like, even now, like, even when I was an adult and I would get hurt, I'm like, someone call my mom. Like, I need my mom right now. She's a nurse. She's gonna know this shit. And so even if you lose your cool sometimes, I'm like, I would much rather be, like, the most amazing mom. And, like, fuck, if I miss a call or have to cancel a client, I'm like, psh.
You be talking about it sometimes like I don't be dadding.
He's fucking busy. I'm talking about, like, during the day, like, waking up, especially when they wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? I have 1 hour of sleep. I'm about to, like, you think you're gonna die. Like, just like on, what's his name, Special, Shia LaBeouf, and he's like, another fucking blowout, haven't slept, but you look at that kid like, I fucking love that motherfucker. Like, you're doing so much for those kids, but I would never go to the ends of the earth for a fucking job. There's no fucking way. I would much rather, like, you'll give your life for your kids. Like,
what kind of woman would even say I'd rather be a mediocre mom?
A lot of them.
That's crazy.
I've seen some stuff.
That shit's insane.
I know I saw a reel today that was a woman that was like, you take care of my kids, mom. Like, I got a new boyfriend and he doesn't want kids. Like, I need...
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. And
that
she
was disgusting.
Did you see that? It was on that His Daughter 7 page.
What happened?
There's a woman in a car and she's like dropped her kids off to her mom and she's like, you take care of them. Like, I need to go date. This man does not want kids. I can't have them around. You raise them for a little while. Like, I need to
Flowers
go,
in the
whatever.
Attic.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Oh.
You ever seen Flowers in the Attic? It's a movie. It's about this lady. She loses her husband and then she moves back in with her mom, and her mom's trying to set her up with the new guy, and she has 3 kids, so she literally has to try to, like, kill her kids to marry this new guy.
Oh my.
it's a crazy movie. It's like in the 70s. I used to watch it with my mom. But yeah, it's a crazy movie.
Dad was on the road.
Right? Exactly. I'm watching all kind of Little House on the Prairie, all that shit.
What you got?
Oh, hands down, I prefer to be a mediocre businesswoman or whatever we call
You're already a great mom, so we knew that answer.
Thank you.
Yep.
I definitely learned my kids, their dad's passed, and so I
R.I.P.
Thank you. I've learned the importance of being present. My kids expect me to be at every practice. They expect me to be at every game. But there was a point though in my life where I thought to overcompensate that I had to make a certain amount of money to relieve any type of pain or accommodate, you know, just as far as what they're missing. So I was working like almost 80 hours a week.
I remember.
Yeah, and it was tough. I crashed. I ended up in the hospital behind it. And then it was the realization of I was in the hospital alone, and the only people that were calling me were my kids and like my intermediate family. Like, and so it was at that point where I was like, I'm never putting my career over my kids again. You know, and so that's what, you know, and just right before here, I had to go sit at a basketball practice because my daughter expects me to be there. You know, I've had to cancel a couple times because I'm like, I have to go to practice. I've also passed up major opportunities for myself that would put me and my girls at a different income level, but I've passed it up because it would take too much of my time.
And guess what? They're never gonna forget that.
Right.
She has 3 amazing daughters, by the way.
And they're gonna appreciate that when they grow up. That mom was always fucking there. You know what I mean? And I mean that's how a lot of people get through life as adults with less trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they didn't have fucked up childhoods.
Yeah, and I will say there's like that saying like that we all have been at a point where we feel like we were just surviving. Like of course we wish we could go back and like be that mom, like, but I don't even remember the fucking newborn days. I was like, I was just trying to get by, like sleep, like the hormones and all that. And so like I mean all of y'all are amazing ass moms no matter what you do. I just want you to know that y'all are holding it down. Is it skipping? Have we even looked?
No, it's fun.
It's good.
Yeah, it seems pretty
Hey,
good.
try CTA.
Oh yeah, you guys like and subscribe, please, and comment and share and tell all your friends about it because we have these real conversations. But we can shut it down here in a bit. I want to ask one more question.
Do it.
And then we can see what you guys learned today. Shit, where did it go? Wait, you guys be patient with me. Would you rather be rich and ugly or beautiful and broke?
Oh, that's a good question.
You first.
What was the question?
No, why me?
Because we started that way last time.
Rich and ugly because I can buy my beauty.
Change that whole face.
No. You can't.
BBL.
You can't buy your
Everything.
I'd rather be beautiful on the inside and broke. Are we talking about the inside or the outside?
Rich and ugly,
Talking
or
about
beautiful
outside.
and broke. And
You talking about
no cheating by buying your looks because at the end of the day, them kids are gonna come out looking like the fuck you used to look.
That's a fact.
A woman got sued for that shit.
Yeah.
A woman got sued for that shit. She had all kinds of plastic surgery, and that's how the
That
man thought
sounds
she
fair to
looked.
me.
And them kids came out ugly as fuck, how she used to look,
That shit
and
sounds
that's
fair to
not what
me.
he signed up for.
Sounds fair.
No, I'm gonna say pretty and broke. I'll tell you why. Because I will be married and have a beautiful family and be taken care of.
There you go.
I'll still be rich.
Wise choice.
That's tough because I feel like I like your argument now. Like, if you're a woman and you have a vagina and you're beautiful,
You
like,
can be broke.
You could be broke.
Yep,
and it doesn't
still win.
Matter.
Yeah, shit. I heard from
Beauty is
I heard
awesome.
from an old lady one time that a wet pussy and a dry purse don't match.
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
what's your excuse?
What is your excuse?
Yeah, Troy don't give to homeless women because he's like, you
You can
be
throw some
broke.
eyelashes on and be fine, girl.
I don't give to homeless women and I don't give to white panhandlers. You guys both fucked off great opportunities. You had head starts
Your
in the
privilege
room.
should be used elsewhere.
Right.
Facts.
I'm gonna go with yours now because
So, broken pretty?
yeah, I'm gonna use my pretty privilege.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You still gonna win.
Broken pretty.
Yep.
Yeah, broken pretty.
Smart
I want to be
answers.
rich and ugly.
if I can't get
no,
the
but women
surgery,
will
like-
say that shit, and then it's like, guess what? Don't nobody want to be Oprah. Like, you're not trading your life right now. For Oprah.
Hey, Oprah looks a lot better. Hey, Oprah, don't listen to him. I
Sure,
fuck with
but,
you.
you know what I'm
I'll
saying?
fuck with you.
Hey.
Thinking about Oprah. Oh my
I'll be standing.
Okay, you're not trading your life for Hillary Clinton.
There we go. That's a little bit better. Cause I fuck with Oprah.
You're not.
She could wife me up.
But hey, but that's another problem with women making a ton of money. Don't nobody respect Stedman?
Nope, not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
So
that's
as
his name.
her
That's her
side dude for
her life.
her dude
And
for point proven.
she's like never claimed him either, so it makes it worse.
Yeah, but I mean, even if she did claim him, it's,
Yeah.
it's not like he's the man because he's with her. I mean,
This
look how
is
they
facts.
treated Keke Palmer's man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Doing him dirty.
if you're dating above, like you didn't win.
It's
you know
a
what I'm saying?
fact.
She can't elevate you. You, however, can elevate her. You know what I mean? It's different.
I'm gonna argue
Don't
that.
nobody know. See, that's the thing. I don't know why women just don't understand this. Does anybody have any idea what Denzel's Washington wife did before she was with him?
Wasn't she a professor or something?
I don't know. Does it matter? She's Denzel's wife.
I forgot. She's did a lot of good shit. I just don't remember what it
But
was.
did she do it before him?
Yeah, she was successful.
Okay,
She was
okay.
successful too.
Yeah, she held him down. He made sure he gives her props. on
Okay,
that.
good. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. All right, and then we're gonna go back around the table, and I want to know what you got. The most important thing you took from today's episode, and we'll start with you.
The most important thing I took from today's episode.
Is speaking closer to the mic.
You have to lean in close to the mic. That's what I got. I don't know. I learned that I have to be accountable for the decisions that I made early on in life and the men that I choose. I already knew that though, but I guess listening to your guys' perspective and opinions on what men want and what they want out of a woman, I need to hold myself a little more accountable if my relationship's going to work.
Yeah, it's easier than you think. It is. It's easier than you think because men are not difficult to please.
Maybe I'm the difficult one.
Men are fucking simple.
Very simple.
We're
Shit.
not asking for a
So,
lot.
so is it my overthinking
Simple.
that
Very
makes me think that you guys are more
Absolutely.
difficult than you are?
Absolutely. Dude, here.
I don't believe it.
So since you don't know what you took from this episode, here's what you're going to take from this episode. Here's what you're going to take from this episode. If you want a successful relationship with a man, make him feel needed.
Mm-hmm.
So simple. I don't care if you can open it. Let him open the pickles. Okay? I can't get it, babe. Thank you. You know what I mean? Here you go, honey. You know what I mean? His day is made for at least 4 hours. 4 hours.
He not lying.
You know what I'm saying?
4 hours.
She needed
He's
me.
like, I'm strong
4
as
hours
shit.
off a pickle jar. Off a pickle jar, okay? Cook doesn't have to be extravagant. I just learned recently, well, not recently, but once I learned how to cook really well, I learned that my mom was an average at best cook. You know what I mean? But my dad ate every goddamn thing she handed him, okay? Because she did it, all right? Be feminine and don't over talk. That's what we mean when we say shut up. It's not just be quiet. It's don't over talk. Don't ask too many fucking questions. Don't.
It's hard.
That is so hard.
It is, but
we're
there's
the
a
red
time.
flag.
There's a time
And
and a
when you're
place
up
for
the
those
other
questions,
team.
and the time and a place for those questions are in the bedroom.
That's what I was gonna say. Post sex.
Post
Pillow talk.
or shit or prior, you know what I mean? But just in the bedroom, but not while we're watching our show. Okay? Not while
Pause
we're
that
watching
shit every 5 minutes.
You know what I'm saying? Not while we're watching our show. That and
Spontaneous head. Don't forget that one.
Yeah. Yes. and you know, on the weekends, objectify
Yes.
him. Yes. Make us feel desired. That's
Facts.
it. Make us feel desired, cook for us, don't talk too damn much, and make us feel needed. That's it. That is it. And he's going to be happy. Oh, and I mean the biggest one is stop worrying about other bitches.
How you eat ass?
Who said that?
You don't. No, I'm just kidding.
Spread them like this.
Especially if your man is like the desirable one that you say he is, then there's gonna be a whole bunch of women after him any fucking way.
So
And if he's giving you most of the time, shit.
That's the thing that kills me the most is like, if I'm fucking with you 23 hours a day, don't ask about other chicks. It's like, when the fuck did I find that time?
yeah.
I've been with you 23 hours.
And I mean, even if I did, like, again, because I'm not asking you for nearly as much as I'm giving you, don't worry about it, because she can't have it. She can have a moment. She can't have it all. The only way she can have it all is if she joins this damn relationship. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
I mean, I don't have that problem, but for most people, what did you take from today's episode?
What I took today was that basically what you said is that men are simple, and that women have what men are looking for, and that we need to be more feminine and step out of our masculinity, and to just be quiet.
Yeah, you guys already had it made. You already have what we're looking for.
So
Your job is to preserve it.
I'm starting to process that.
I think women hear that, they get so offended by that. Be quiet or shut up. We're not saying like, hey, don't fucking say nothing. Don't just talk.
Yeah, no, because
Raise your hand next time you speak.
So
because women do drop gems a lot.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? But we have to be in the receptive mode, and that's usually like on the weekends. Just not right when I walk through the fucking door, or not when I'm about to leave, or not while I'm at work.
It's like you knew when your parents would ask them if you could have that sleepover or that bike. You're like, let's like test the waters a little bit. Like, what
Facts.
is your mood?
Yeah.
And women, like you said, that you guys' perspectives are totally different. So sometimes we need that shit. What you have to say is important. You know what I mean? It's just like when you're saying it. It's not like, hey, shut up, don't ever talk. I don't want your opinion. That's not when he's saying shut up. That's not what, like, so when he was like, just say shut up, Chanel looked like, listen, I'm gonna talk. But we're not saying just shut up. We're just saying, you know what I mean? Yeah. When we're having those conversations. And if you have a man that doesn't value your opinion at all, then that's not somebody you should be with anyway.
Yeah, because he's probably not leading you correctly anyway.
Right.
And to look at it like this, like you want the man to be paying attention to you, giving his full undivided attention, right? So if you just keep just talking and saying just a whole bunch of nonsense, then we're just gonna be slipping out. But if you're more selective on when you are talking to your man,
the approach,
then we're gonna be giving you our full undivided attention.
Facts.
So,
or here's another one, because we are problem solvers. If you do want to talk to us, let us solve the problem. Don't just vent. You see what I'm saying? So if you do have something you really want to say, form it as a problem, if that makes any sense. Because we're going to try and
because you're stroking our ego.
Yeah. Again,
even if you don't want the problem to be solved.
You're making us feel needed.
We're little kids, like you said.
Right? Yeah, think about that. Think about a little boy. Have you ever watched a little boy just figure shit out?
Right, excited as shit.
Legos.
Just drop. I was about to say, just drop a Lego set, babe.
Yep.
Babe, I need to talk to you real quick.
Yep. Facts. Put the puzzle together, like line the puzzle up for me where it's
like,
almost done. I just got to move a few little spaces.
We're like this, like wow, that bitch is crazy.
Yeah, talk to me while he's playing video games.
Facts. Talk to me all you want while I'm on the sticks. I'm gonna probably cuss a little bit, but I'm listening.
Right. Yeah, I would definitely keep your therapy and your man separate, because he can't be everything. Like, your girls are your girls, your therapy. And I'm a life coach, so, like, I'm like, if you have to talk to me about that. Talking to your man about how he's the problem, like, all the time, bitch, you're the problem. So, sometimes we have to, I feel like every time I come on the show, there's, like, little hints that it's, like, they're not the problem. They're asking for, like, 4 things. And we have a list of like 4,000 that like we get to choose like each day. We're like, I'm gonna choose 80 today, and if they don't check them off, they should have like read my mind. And a man's like, food, sex, like, and we're like, did you ask me how my day was? And it's like they could be going through 1,000 things, and a lot of men are like, they keep it all inside. Like, they don't have nobody to talk to. So, like, you being that safe space for a man to talk to, because, like, you're not just bombarding him with your problems, but you're like, I've already vented to either my therapist or my girls. Like, you don't have to solve all my problems. Of course, there's a time and a place where it's like, I need my man. Like, there's a time and a place he'll, like, shut shit down. If Troy shuts something down in my life, you know he had to step in and do it. And I do want to say something before, because the thing I was talking to you about.
Go ahead.
Like, I think it's funny. I was, because Troy always tells me, he's like, when have I ever told you no? Because he doesn't tell me no. And I feel like a lot of women want, like, he can't say no to me. If I want this, if I want that, if I want to do this. But we tell men no so much. Like, where it's like, you can't go here, you can't wear that, you can't like this person's picture, you can't follow this, you can't, like, you know, play this many hours on the game, you can't go to the gym that long, you can't go this long without texting me. But, like, we want a man who doesn't tell us no to anything. And so I think that there is, like,
where is that fair?
Yeah, I think there's this, the more that I come on the show and the more that we've been together, I've realized, like, a lot, we're the red flag sometimes. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when we realize that, because then when you bring that awareness to it, I'm reading A New Earth right now. So if you haven't read A New Earth by, I think it's Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
It's all about, like, killing your ego. And when there's the awareness, it loses its power. And so sometimes we think, like, oh, well, my way. It's my way, it's my way, it's my way. But then it's like, what if we let the man lead and be the problem solver? Then he would have to step up, you know? But if we're like, I'll change my oil, I'll take out the garbage, I got this, what are you bringing? He's like, you just took, you know, when someone, like, took your answer before you, like, you already just took my best, like, the gift I was going to give this person. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to bring to the table now? You know? So every time I'm like, ooh, I do need to shut up a little more. But that's always what I get from the show. Is like, be quiet, just now.
It's like your own therapy sessions.
Oh, me?
Yeah, what'd you get? What'd you get from today?
No, I got a lot of reassurance today. Just because I got a lot of reassurance today. Because this is something I've been working on, which has been feedback I've gotten from previous men I've dated, is shut your mouth, Chanel. But I never understood what
That's why she had a problem with that one.
You know, it triggered me a little bit. But now just kind of understanding what that means. But, I mean, a lot of this stuff I feel like I knew. It's just like, Chanel, it's all on you to actually change that.
Sometimes hearing it over and over again is like
that's
kind
the
of
only way you do learn. I mean, just think about school. It's repetition.
For sure.
We're doing the same times tables for how long, and we still don't know them. But
I do.
And I think I finished one of them pages once in the allotted time. It was terrible.
I only did it because they was giving away ice cream at the end.
No, but on what Jessica said is that shut up is more along the lines of, like, don't be so damn selfish. The world don't revolve around you.
He's a troll. He's trolling.
Don't give it attention.
Yeah, that's why that's been there for a minute. So
that's how you put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like women, for the most part, don't see past themselves a lot of the times.
I realize I was so selfish.
Like,
for sure.
Especially when it comes to what you're asking for from a man. You're asking for everything and control. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what makes you think you deserve that? What did you do to earn that? Especially when he's not asking you for shit. You see what I'm saying? So when we say shut up, it's like, shut up because I just got home. Or shut up because I just paid so many bills. Or shut up because I just need to sit down for a minute before I solve your day or hear about your entire day. Especially when you've been talking to me all day. So it's just that's all it is because we deal with so much and we don't talk about it because we pick our battles. If it's necessary, then we'll address it because we are problem solvers. So basically, if it's not a big enough problem to solve at the moment, or we can solve it internally, that's what we're gonna do. We don't need to talk about everything. We just don't need to talk about everything. But also try and find out something he's fucking interested in, because that if you want to have meaningful conversation with your man, talk about something he's well versed in, because trying to get him to shut up at that point is going to be very difficult. You know what I mean? I have a whole podcast because shutting up about shit I'm passionate about isn't very easy. You know, I do this shit at work all day.
Facts.
That's facts. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
With stats to back it up.
yeah, I mean you gotta be researced.
Yeah, so if you want to get a cut and learn something at the same time,
Not
holla at
lying.
your boy.
he does have to charge an upcharge for
Not
that.
lying.
Though,
But all right, this was a good episode, and thank you guys for tuning in and commenting and like, share, and subscribe. We need to get this shit up. We need these subscribers to go up. We need these views to go up.
Yeah.
Because I told y'all I don't want to work, but I like money. We're out of here.
Sponsorships.